Greetings, everyone. We're back again, the Yellow Corner, to preview our forthcoming match against Swallows on Sunday. And I'm joined by my one and only partner in crime, Rapelang. How are you, sir?
I am not doing.
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Last time when we were shooting the preview, our second leg semi-final, when I jokingly said to you and Secretary, we deserve the name Yanto. Yeah, the happy people. If you come to think about it, we really do, man. Like, big man.
And I'm less black boy. The women not we not got thing, man. Timari Kore. We're 20 little flame fell and you. I got I did free challenge. Now okay, to what I Dominic, but not like this. Try.
After not that we say Pirates.
With Amazon remade Asa Guaga team, Amazon.
Oh, that is one of our neighbors who supports Pirates, by the way. Yeah, man. So it Swallows on Sunday and in evening game, 5:05 kickoff. Let's get into it, Raps. Twitter on special leave. I not really love to know what a special leave is, and like, why don't you just terminate contract, because for me, this confuses the players. I don't know how about you, because in one of the press conferences leading up to second leg, the interim coach Simo Dlala said something along the lines before Nebadlala speed her whole. So now speed her whole, and which means creative thinking. So now this tells me, okay, we're not on the same page, me and you, man. You're my assistant, I'm the head coach, but we clearly not on the same page. How confusing must this be to the players?
I think the management of Swallows should sit down and make a final decision in terms of who is going to be the coach coming to these games that they are going to play. In theory, coaches on leave, like, it doesn't make sense. If they keep him, they keep him. Leave incorporate whether like leave or paternity leave or what leave. Like, leave at the end of the season where the team will rest. And so why Bamfa leave during the season? It doesn't make sense. And also they've only played, I think, about 7 games at Balla. Let's say M10-8. So it doesn't make sense. So they put up the player at on a modeling. How confused are they? Really defensive about what's.
Speaking of the players, I watched a post-match press conference, and the coach Simo said something that I don't think will sit well with the players at all. He said they decided not to follow the instructions after their phone grabbing at the hands of Cape Town City, man. Imagine you hear coach how it was only 2 games, coach, and then he says they decided not to follow the instructions. It's like he's throwing them under the bus, man. It's like, I told you guys what to do, and you guys decided to do your thing, so this loss is on you. It has nothing to do with me. I think
and such statements, it gets our team gonna say like, but by all means, because the players they can sit down. I will up 2 games. A critical coach already sent out. So you must watch out for
Yeah, not true. I don't know if I'm gonna sneeze or not. When you're about to sneeze and it's taking forever to come, so I don't know whether to continue or stop. Man. Swallows, they are partners from Pefeni. They haven't had a good start to the season. In the 5 league games that they've played, they've only won 1, drew 2, and lost 2. They've only scored 1 goal in the first game of the season against Royal AM and conceded 4. They currently sit 12th on the log. What have you made of their start to the season, Pops?
Look, this is a terrible start from this Swallows side. Last season, in their first 5 games, they've won 3 and they drew 2, and they conceded only 1. So it shows the performance here the previous season and yet this season, like there's a huge things that needs to be done. There's a huge that needs to be corrected. And also, if Ugasheba like the goals that they have scored, they have only scored a single goal in the league. So it shows like and you ask yourself, it's like the caretaker coach, bad coaches on leave, what is going to happen next? So like this is a terrible start. And if you guys last season, this Swallow side, it was a tough side to beat. Like last season, you could lead, but in the dying minute, they will get an equalizer or they will get a late win. But this season, we haven't seen what we saw last season.
Yeah, I know. They have really struggled this season, man. I thought about they've signed a lot of players. Maybe that's the problem. But I think even last season when they came into the league, the PSL, they had made quite a few acquisitions. So I really don't know, man, or what's going on. But clearly, there's something here in camp that we may not know about, you know. And I mean,
Truth after game, Amazulu said something about the bosses intervening with the selection and coaching.
Wait, you are gonna get us into trouble. How sure are you he was talking about the management? Funny enough, I was watching that on a front post just a while ago, because he's initially, remember, we thought, actually, most people on social media thought he was taking shots at our technical team, and now front post, I think, or front runner, one of the two, I can't remember which one. They hinting that might have been targeted at the management, but yeah, you may continue.
Yeah, so you can tell that like there's a lot happening, especially off the field. Like it is there, everyone can see it. So we'll see whether they are going to make Simotlaga a coach or will come back from his leave.
Yeah, no. We're playing against a team that has quite a lot of our former players. What impact do you think they will have in this game? Do you think they'll go out to prove a point, or they'll just take it like any other game?
I think there will be few who are trying to prove a point. I think a guy like Magalo obviously will be looking to prove a point. They will definitely want to show our 3 coaches that they made mistakes in terms of loaning him to Swallows FC. But guys like Cheeseboy and Nyatam, those are experienced players. Obviously, they want to play every single game, and also don't try to improve or play better for the sake of you are playing against your former side. I think for them it won't be similar as Keleto Magalo.
Yeah, I think when you try hard to prove a point, that's where you mess up the most, and you actually end up making a lot of mistakes. So taking this as another game and playing your football, playing to the coach's instructions would help, But yeah, let's hope they come trying to prove a point and put themselves under pressure and eventually end up making mistakes and making our job easily. You know, Rapelang, when you play the game, when you preview the match, we obviously almost each and every installment we talk about the weaknesses and strengths of team. I am not gonna lie to you. I struggled coming up with strengths for Swallows. I watched the highlights. I watched the game itself. I was trying to think, what danger do they pose to us? How can they hurt us? And I have nothing. I absolutely have nothing. I don't know about you.
Look, I think the strength is that they have offensive fullbacks, they have Holangaman and Viome, but the only thing that lets them down is that when they get to the final third, they poor decision making, and also the Holangaman lost a lot of balls trying to cross, and the first goal that they considered against Cape Town City in the MTN8 semi-final, instead of passing the nearest teammate, he's trying to play a long ball to a player who is surrounded by 2 or 3 players. I think the Wolangaman clearly he hasn't changed. And also another
please respect our legend. Please, we're not gonna move forward. Please respect Tebo. Please. Tebza is arguably the greatest left back that we've ever had. One of the greatest of all time. Please respect. Tebza scored in the Champions League final. Please respect CR7. Continue.
Another strength is that they have a good player in Musanyatama. I think Musanyatama, his ability to circulate the ball and dictate the tempo of the game. And also, if Musanyatama can play for a side that loves to keep position, I think he can be very instrumental. We have seen him, Coco Orlando Pirates under Micho and Rulani, that key role he played in the defensive midfield, and also the runs made by Kakso Maleng, throwing the defense out of positions, getting fouls, and also trying to keep the defense busy. And they have Mwape Musonda in the 7 minutes that he came in the second half. He created a chance. And that was one of the clear-cut chances they got in the second half. And also, he hit an upright. So I think a guy like Musonda could be very good for this silo side. And also, he brings competition to Malenga and Jose Hamaldi.
Okay, the other thing that I saw is that they have quite pacey wingers, man. They have Solomons, they have Ndlovu, they have Gelets, so they have a lot of pace on the sides. You'd expect them to be good in transition with the kind of players that they have on the flanks, But going to the weakness, I'm ready with my file. One, I think the coaching situation doesn't do them any favors. It doesn't help them at all, because during preseason, Tuta said this is how we're gonna play this season. A few games into the season, he's put on special leave. Now Simo comes in and then he says, "No, guys, this is how we play." So it's less than 10 games into the season, and the players are already confused as to how they expected to play. Center back pairing. Last season they had a good center back pairing in Ngobo and Letlabika. Ngobo obviously left to the other side, and then Letlabika has been in and out because of injuries. And I think with the two guys that are playing, Sibia and Said. Yeah?
Yes, Said.
Okay. None of them marshals the defense. Everyone for himself, God for us all, more. So without communication, without proper leadership, it's difficult to have a solid back four, And Sbia, man, Sbia is clumsy and loses concentration, man. He drifts on and out, in and out of the game. Hey, the goal that they considered, the first goal that they considered, they are Ralani. I mean, for Ralani, Rapelang, chances are Ralani's height for him to get in between them and score. I think it says a lot about them, because I think one of them should have been tight to Ralani and made it difficult for him to chest up the ball and score, So another thing that I picked up, Said likes pressing, the goalie, like he pressed like into half Cape Town City, and then Ralani controlled the ball, passed the ball to Nodada. Like he made a third man run and finished it off, So, and immediately after that, a few minutes after that, he made a similar mistake.
And they nearly scored.
They nearly like he nearly scored more. Yes. So Wamona, he doesn't. How do I want to put this? His reading of the game is poor, man. I mean, you need to read situation and see, if I make this move and I press this high, possibilities of the ball being played behind us, behind me, are high. So his pressing, man, his reading of the game is poor. And if you do that against a team like Sundowns, they haven't scored a goal in 6 matches in 540 minutes. I mean, that's a lot, man, for a team to go without scoring. And what makes things even more difficult for them is that they are playing against a team that hasn't conceded a goal this season. So, it's going to be a long afternoon for them, man. One final thing is that they mark zonal marking. Most of the set piece already mark zonal marking. And zonal marking makes it difficult for the players to defend against people who are running into running to the ball, because it's difficult how Oyemi still to jump higher than someone who's coming as a run. So I think that's one of the things that we can capitalize on. I don't know if there's anything you want to add as well.
Another weaknesses that they have is that Langerman plays too narrow in defense. He's closer to Sibia, and that gave Kize plenty of time to occupy that space and to deliver the crosses. And like you have said, Said tend to press where he's not supposed to press. I think it forces. Sometimes he gets forced to go there because of Nyatama in the middle of the park. He gets outnumbered. You have Ralani, who likes to drift a little bit backwards, and you have Nodada, who has energy to cover the space and make those runs. So I think Said, he was reading the game, but he was making poor decisions. I think if there was better communicating, you would have told Nyatama to sit, not move forward, and also tell Chisboy Mukwena and Maglo to assist Nyatama in the middle of the park, because he was going there to help Nyatama because he was outnumbered in the middle field. And also, like you have said, they are not scoring enough goals. Right in the second half, in the half time, they had 0 shot on target. So it shows there's no creativity up front. There's no movement. There's nothing up front. So that is very poor from a side that scored plenty of goals last season, and that have good number 9s. They have quality strikers, but they don't have creativity. And also, playing Nyatama, who's maybe 33, and playing Cheese Lena, who's 30, maybe 34, 33, in the middle of the park, against teams that have runners, teams that have midfielders who have stamina and energy, they get outplayed very easily. So you ask yourself, against Bomshish, against Bodomingo, against like, but how will they cope? So I think they should try to change, have a more balanced team. I know they want to go for experience, but have people who can cover the ground, people who can track back and win the ball back. So Chisboy and Nyatama don't give you exactly that. So I think they should fix that. And also, after conceding, I think 2 goals, they were pushing a lot of numbers forward. They played a high line. And when you play a high line, your goalkeeper should be a sweeper, should be vocal, should come out to clear those balls. And I didn't see that from Fries. He tried to come out, but he was late and he chipped the ball and he scored. So Leana, I Fries remember, this is a guy that gave us a 3-point in FNB when we're walking out of the stadium thinking that we got a point. So I'm like my tata for Solos, but we will see. We'll see how to approach a game because of Sundowns. It is a different team. They have to be disciplined. Like they have to keep shape. They have to know what they are doing. So. And also, with the players that Sundowns have, they can get more than 4 goals any day, anytime.
Maestro said he'll be disappointed if we don't get 8. Or they deserve to get 8. Moving on to their lineup. This is how I think they will line up. I think they'll have Fries in goal. I think they'll have Voyo right back. Said and then Letlabik. I think they'll bring back 1D for this one. I don't think they'll go with Sibia for this one, and then I think they will drop Langa for Thabiso and Rapelang Pirates. Matlab.
Melek.
Yeah, Melek, yeah. And then Harry will have 2 in Matlo and Musa and Cheese just in front of them, and then having Ndlovu and Keleto on either side, and then they'll have Hamaldin up top. I think that's how they line up.
Now I think they'll have Fries, they'll have Mere, Said, Sibia, and Debukholangaman. And he will go for the same midfield three that played against Cape Town City, but now I'll go for Nyatama and have Wambi, like have 2-6 and have Matlo in front of them. Then up front, Solomons, Maghalwa, and Musonda.
All right, okay. Now we'll see on Sunday. Let's move on to the log leaders. I almost said the runaway champions, but hey, yeah, they really are the runaway champions, man. Raps, a year ago, on this day, the news came through that the greatest of all time, the greatest there was, the greatest there is, the greatest there ever will be, Pitso Jingles Mosimane was leaving Mamelodi Sundowns. Terrible day, man. I remember driving out of Val Mall, with tears in my eyes because I was heartbroken. I just didn't see how we'll continue dominating without Pitso. How do you think we've coped since Jingles left?
I think this departure of Pitso had positives and negatives around the team, and basically our team is judged by what Pitso done to Mamelodi Sundowns. I think Pitso, what he has done for the team, it is the benchmark, and I think it will be very difficult for these coaches to achieve what Pitso has achieved, and they have a lot of pressure. But I think we have done well, and also losing a coach like Pitso who was there at Mamelodi Sundowns for about 8 years, obviously like that a loss would have an impact in the team. But we have done very well, and we have managed to defend the league, even though in the Champions League we haven't done very well. But we should understand that this is a new technical team, and they changed how we played compared to when Pitso was there. So, but what happened a year ago was very sad for the Sundowns family. But what made it more sad, I think, when he renewed the contract, we thought, Pitso kwa rona o tlo dula. But after a few days after we won the Nedbank Cup, when he went to the SABC studios, I think it was Sports 10 at 10, you could tell, oh, man, so, but we have done very well, and we're still gonna challenge and do well. We fought Pitso.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Love jingles to death, man. And it upsets me to see Al fans not really appreciating him and after what he's done for them, man. Like some of us, they don't know what you have until you lose it, man.
Yeah.
And all the best of luck to Budi, man. May you continue dominating. They're in Egypt, not in the continent now, because we also want the big fish. Sunday, we start the second game block. First game block, it went perfect. We got 13 points. Second one, we kick off with Swallows at home, followed by Baroka away, Maritzburg home, Marumo Gallants away, Cape Town City away. I think we are getting 13 out of 15 points in this one as well.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, I think we will definitely get 13, but this will be a very difficult game block because of we have CAF Champions League, and also we have the MTN final in between those 5 games of the league. But 13 points, it is doable, and also 15 points, it is definitely achievable, but it is going to be difficult. And also, most of the teams, when they play their 5 games in the league or 6, that's where they start playing better. That's where you see more understanding. That's where they're starting to collect points. So it is going to be very difficult, but definitely we are getting 13 or 15.
Rabs, Gaston Sereno. Is Sereno still sulking over his failed move to Al Ahly or what? Is it, when I watched the game here and le Arrows, something came to mind. Sereno, okay, apart from how he's been playing, but Sereno can't seem to dance without Mshishi. Like he needs Mshishi next to him for him to dance. Yet Mshishi dances without him. What have you made of Sereno?
Look, that game where he came on against Golden Arrows in the semi-finals of the MTN8, we are already killed the game. I expected when he comes in, he should take the game into another level, like try to get more goals or try to contribute in terms of the assist. But he came in and he lost a couple of balls, like even more
almost every ball, man, that Sereno played, he lost on Tuesday.
And he lost those balls in positions where you know that he's more deadly. So and also the body language. So like one more, man, like not for targeting, but he's not in the starting lineup, and also he's not in the 18 match squad.
I fully understand. With the type of guys that he's competing with. Yeah.
For example, besides the goal that Maema scored against Arrows, when he came in, you could see what he was trying to do, and compare that with Sereno. Like there's a huge difference, and Sereno is more experienced than Maema, and there are a lot of expectations. So when he drops that kind of performance, like it will matter for you because of if you look at the players that we have on the bench, we still have Villa, we still have Kapinga, like Matata.
Yeah, no, Papi. I get tell you guys Spanish wake up and smell the coffee. How do we beat Swallows? I think we beat Swallows. We use their zonal marking into advantage. Normally, the corners are on in swingers. This game, I think we play the out swingers because the out swingers is easy for people coming from the edge of the box attacking the ball. So I think that's what we do. I think we rattle Swallows. We first 15 minutes we go hard at them. They are not confident, and once we get an early goal, they are done. They're not going to recover from an early goal. They have zero confidence at this point in time. And then the one thing that I picked up, Simone, how he presses. He has his 3 attackers plus Cheese Boy, pressing, forming some sort of a what do you call this, man? A box with 4 players, whereby they close you down in that corner. Like if the ball is played, say, to Kekana, on our right, 4 players will go to that side, leaving a lot of space on the left for someone like, say, our left back, say like he's playing left back. Like they shut you down there, Wabo. It could work if they dispossess you, but at the same time, it's a risk, because if you have someone like Grant, whose passing was immaculate on Tuesday. I didn't know that Grant was such a good passer of the ball, man. The balls that he played out from the back, man, like I was really impressed, So if they press him and then he's able to move the ball to the left, we'll head there, because that's like eliminating 4 players in just one pass. So I think that's how we go about beating Swallows. Anything to add?
Look, I think it will be raining on Sunday, so we should do basics. We should avoid making a lot of back passes. If one is making a back pass, he should ensure that it is not in line with the goalpost. Try to play it wide so that if the goalkeeper it doesn't connect with the ball very well, it becomes a corner or a throw-in. And also, like you have said, we should escape that press and move the ball faster, so that we use the advantage of Nyatama is alone and he's isolated in the middle field, and also have a lot of mobility up front, so that that guy side presses where he's not supposed to press, and also try to use width. Like he should push forward and make sure that Mere doesn't go forward, and same applies to whoever is going to play at the right back, so that Langerman stays on his own half. So that, I think that's how we are going to beat the Swallows side.
Lineup,
I'll have Denis Onyango. I hope he's fit. I will have right back. I have Grant Kekana. Right centre back Roshin De Rook. Left centre back Musal Busa. Left back Laila K. Midfield I would have Gautier, Andile. Then front forward I have Kutumela, Shalulile, Tembazwane, and Domingo.
Hey man, I'm not sure about having Domingo there, man. It's hard, man. Like I think Kenzo Clocks said, or seemingly the technical team has told him, "Oh, this is your position and this is where you play this season." I think he gives us a lot, hardly more, But yeah, I would have if River is not fit again, I'd have him there. But if River is back, I'll have River and AJ, and then front four I'll have Kutu, Shalulile, Erasmus, and Shika. I'll bring back Shika, and Yeah, I'll bring back Erasmus. Predictions?
We are going to win 3-0.
Goal scorers?
Shalule will definitely score. Temba, and a goal will come from one of our defenders.
I think we're going to score from a corner kick as well because of their zonal marking. I'm going to go for 4-0. Shalule will get a brace, and Kutu will get one, and Mosa or Hoshin will get the other. Yeah, that's that, Masandawana. Another installment of the yellow corner in the back. Good luck to the boys on Sunday. Let's end this on a high, man. Let's go to the international break on a high, and yeah, let's start the new game block with 3 points. We'll see you again when we preview our match against Baroka after the international break. Enjoy it for those who are into international football. I'm not into it, more especially when let me keep quiet. Raps, I will see you, my man. I'll see you over the weekend, and everyone else will see you when we preview our game against Baroka. Cheers.